Welcome back to the Sidetrack'd podcast.
Oh my god. What are you talking about? We're really about to do this all over again.
Welcome back to Sidetrack'd. Oh my god. It's literally March. I was like looking at the calendar today and I was like, how did we get here? Because I feel like January was the longest month of my life, like January 2024. And then February, and you know what it is? It's because it's Black History Month. Y'all, not only did you give us the shortest month, and I don't give a fuck that it's a leap year, y'all still gave us the shortest month, but like, it also just goes by really fast. But like, fuck, we're in March now, and I know I did not forget to start the, cause why the fuck do I even bring out the timer if I'm not gonna start it when I start the podcast? It's actually insane. But no, today, God, I forgot what I was saying. Every single time I, like, start one of these, because, like, honestly, the lead up to, like, filming is, like, so weird, especially when no one else is in my house, because, like, it's, like, dead silent. Even when there's people in the house. I mean, I, like, go around the house and I'm like, everyone, shut the fuck up. I'm filming. And then, I come up here and I take about, like, what time is it right now? Yeah, I take about, like, 10-15 minutes to set up, even though it's just turning on lights and figuring out how this microphone works, which, like, you'd think, what is it? 6 months later, I know how to do this shit. Oh my god, it has not been 6 months. Hold up, wait. Oh my god, 6 months of the podcast. That's crazy. Technically, our first episode was filmed July 3rd of 2023, but still, 6 months into posting for the podcast. That's crazy. Holy shit. That's crazy. No, but you think I know how to do this by now. It's literally, like, every single time I start the podcast and I start filming, because, like, I'm not, like, a stranger to filming. Like, I film for, like, TikTok, YouTube, you know, the regular shit. And I have no problem talking to a camera and, like, sitting there and, like, just, like, pretending like I'm talking to people. Even though, realistically, like, right now, in this very moment that I'm actually filming, no one's here, no one's listening to me, I'm not talking to anyone. But, what's it called? I've never, like, had stage fright in that sense. I'll have regular stage fright, like if I'm in front of a crowd, like, and I'm doing public speaking, that'll get me all nervous. But like talking in front of a camera, I don't genuinely get all nervous because there's really no one there. I do know that some people do get nervous in front of a camera, and that's like fine, but that never happens with me. But when I'm filming for the podcast, especially when I'm just kind of winging it, because like some days I'll have like topics that like I could honestly talk about most of the topics that I have on my list for probably 5 hours straight, and that's no breaks. And I'm not joking. So, like, typically I'll have, like, a list of things that I definitely want to hit, because, like, as you know, I get sidetracked a lot. So, like, I'll, like, pivot and, like, not actually hit the points that I want to hit. So I usually, like, the first episode I remember having a whiteboard, like, a big-ass whiteboard that my dad has, and I, like, laid it underneath the camera. And I don't know if you can actually tell in the recording. I have to rewatch it. But, like, it's just me, like, losing my place, like, finishing a topic, looking at the whiteboard. And mind you, I need glasses to see far away. So, like, I'm, like, squinting and I'm all like, okay, what's the next shit I want to hit? And I still miss topics in that episode that we'll circle back to another day. No, but when I start recording, it's almost like I'm getting ready for, like, therapy. Like, when I used to do telehealth, I'd, like, get on 5 minutes before the call and be like, okay, now I gotta sit here and talk for 45 minutes about God knows what. Because literally, like, yeah, like, I'm, like, depressed and shit. But, like, when you're, like, sitting in it's different when you're talking to a therapist. And because, one, most of the time, people aren't depressed, like, about specific things. Sorry, I thought I just heard a door open. And I am home alone, so that scared the shit out of me. But usually people aren't depressed about specific things. I mean, you can have depression about specific things, but usually you don't. So, like, I'd, like, get ready for telehealth and be all like, okay, I gotta talk for 45 minutes straight about God knows what, because I can't even, like, I don't know why I'm sad. Like, she's gonna be all like, oh, like, why do you feel awful today? And I'm like, I don't know, because I woke up. Like, bitch, I don't fucking know. But, today I wanted to talk about, I guess, like, image, so to speak, like, specifically my image and how others perceive me, because I've just been, like, circling that idea around in my head recently, and I wanted to, like, speak on it, because, like, for me specifically, like, I don't know. I don't really know how people perceive me, obviously, because, like, I'm not an outside perspective. I am me. Like, I just don't have anything else to go off of than, like, what I've been personally told. But who knows what people think about you, like, when you're not around. But for the most part, like, and the thing is, when I do get reminded that people perceive me, it freaks me the fuck out. Like, when I'm just, like, I tend to think that I fly under the radar and most people, like, don't notice things about me, and then, like, occasionally you get reminded that people perceive you regardless of your attempts to make yourself look a certain way. I don't like your perception of me, but you really can't change that. Like, I don't know, like, there's been a handful of times where, like, people have told me what they view me as, and I'm always down to, like, understanding how people perceive me off first glance, because, like, I have a skewed view of my perception just because of the way I grew up. Yeah, I think this is how I tend to view myself in the eyes of other people, actually, based on how I'm treated. But, like, I know that I, like making jokes. That's honestly the basis of what I do anything for. I love making people laugh. It's something I enjoy. I don't, like, tend to, like, want to be... I don't know, I like making people happy, and laughter is a way I can do that, like making jokes and cracking jokes, and just, like, I just like comedy in general. Like, it's just something that I enjoy. I don't think I have anything more to say on that, so I wouldn't say I'm, like, a class clown type person, just because I don't know, I feel like class clown has a negative connotation to it, like, you're, like... But that's really what it is. That's what I wanted to talk about today, because I, like, tend to, like, make jokes, and I tend to, like, be silly and goofy a lot of the times. I will say that I tend to make light of situations that maybe you shouldn't make light of. I try to use comedy as, like, a coping thing, and I know that, and I enjoy that. I don't, like, ever want to stop doing that. Like, genuinely, comedy is something that brings me joy, and it brings me joy to bring other people joy. Genuinely. That, point blank, period. However, because class clown has a negative connotation, I feel like a lot of times people do not take me seriously, and that wouldn't bother me so much if they didn't use that as a catalyst to disrespect me and walk all over me, which is why I have such a, like, problem with, like, saying, like, class clown, because I feel like a lot of people don't take a lot of things that I say seriously, or me serious in general as a person, and they treat me like a child. Actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm remembering why I wanted to start this topic, or something that I wanted to touch on with this topic. But even when I was younger, like, in elementary school, like, we'd be playing, like, not house. I don't want to say playing house, because playing house has a different meaning. But, like, playing pretend at school, because you don't play house at school. Everybody knows that. But we would be playing, like, pretend at school, and, like, everyone would be picking who they're gonna be, and they'd be like, oh, Mary Jo, you should be a dog. And it's like, the fuck do you mean? Like, and it's like, what do you mean I should be a dog? Like, what? Like, that is crazy to me. That might have undertones of racism, but it's also, like, people just don't take me seriously. They think I'm just for fun, like a puppy. Like, a puppy is, like, fun, but, like, honestly, you can't do more than just play with a puppy. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, I feel like I've spent so much time trying to fix my image with people who have known me in the past, and it's not like I necessarily want to be, like, this serious, never have fun type of person, but I'm not any less equal to the people around me just because I like having fun, or just because I make jokes de temps en temps. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's frustrating to me, because, like, for the longest time I didn't want to lose that when I was younger, and I was, like, a huge people pleaser. I used to think that the only reason people wanted to be friends with me was because I was funny. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because, like, people are going to be friends with you because you're funny, but people are also, there's reasons you're friends with people. And I don't think it's a bad thing that, like, there's a reason why people want to be friends with you. Like, if you're friendly and people want to be your friend because you're friendly, I don't think that, like, obviously you're going to lose your friends if you lose that quality. And I used to think that about, like, me being funny, because, like, when I first, like, was aware that I was, like, severely depressed and I needed help, I kept on thinking to myself, and this was when I was, like, 12, 13. So I was younger and stupid. But I kept on thinking to myself, like, if I if I get help and like I get on medication, I'm gonna lose my funny, and then I'm gonna lose my friends, and I'm gonna be more depressed. Like I was like fixing the problem myself by being all like, nah, if I get better, I lose the one trait that I have, which is not true. That is not the only good quality I have. But I just didn't want to lose that because I thought that like most of my funny came from my depression. I was like, you know what, like no, my jokes are coming from my trauma, so you know what, I need to keep it. I need to keep on experiencing trauma to be funny, which is not true. This has been probably 2023, even though I went through the ringer at the beginning, like the first 3-4 months of 2023 were god awful. You know, we don't have to rehash this, but quite literally the best year of my life. Like genuinely, like I cannot, mentally speaking, best year of my life. Mentally speaking, like, yeah, I had some hard times, and you're gonna have hard times. I mean, I'm probably gonna have depression forever. Like, that's just never gonna go away. And I've come to terms with that. It's whatever. But, it was genuinely like I've quite literally haven't felt better than I did last year. Like, I can't remember the last time I was that happy, if that makes sense. And I was still funny as fuck. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's genuinely, like, you can't kill the funny. You know what I'm saying? But, I used to think that you could. And I don't, like, necessarily, like, in the sense that, like, back then I didn't want to lose my funny because I didn't want to lose my friends. I also, like, I never wanted to lose when I was creating, like, my new image. And, like, I'm understanding that people are going to perceive me however they want to perceive me. And that's something that I've come to learn just being a black woman. Like, it's just like, we were talking about this the other day in my class, for like race, culture, and society or whatever, but like one of the other students in my class had asked, like, how do you deal with like people perceiving you as like a threat, because he was a man, so like, you know, men are gonna be perceived in a certain way. And honestly, like, I feel like a lot of times when stereotypes are placed on people, it takes away, like, their autonomy. Like, their autonomy, in a sense. Like, think of it this way in relation to me, right? People are gonna view me as an angry black woman. Sorry, I keep on hearing noises, and I am home alone, and I have been watching way too much Criminal Minds recently. I got my window open just in case, even though I'm literally... Should I say this? Yeah, I'm literally on the 3rd floor, so ain't no fucking way in hell I'd see any type of predators coming. But, you know, just to be safe. No, the fuck was I saying? 2 seconds ago. What was I saying? Oh, angry black girl, right. I feel like it takes away my ability, like, it used to at least. Because when we were having this conversation in class, I was just thinking to myself, like, honestly, don't not be angry. Like, he didn't want to be perceived as angry by other people, and he was asking our professor, like, how do you cope with that? And honestly, you know what I say to that? Just be angry. Like, the thing is, too, like, why am I trying? And that's the thing, why was I trying so hard to be perceived as something else when realistically it wasn't gonna change? That's the thing with me wanting to change my image, or anyone wanting to change their image. It's like, it's not gonna change. No matter what you do, like, yeah, it's going to change to a certain extent, but, like, people are going to view me as an angry black woman regardless of whether I'm angry or not. So then why am I telling myself that I can't be angry? It takes away my autonomy to feel that emotion. Like, when it's valid. Like, you saying, oh, all black women are angry, okay, and then me deciding because you view all black women as angry that I'm gonna stop feeling anger altogether, when it's an emotion. It's an emotion that we all experience and we all get to feel, and it's unfair for me to get that taken away from me because you just view me as angry all the time. So I'm going to be angry when I'm angry, and I'm gonna not be angry when I'm not angry, and you're still gonna perceive me as angry. So why am I taking the time to change my image, so to speak? Like, it just, like, when I came to that conclusion, it made me, I don't know, distance myself from certain people in my life who, like, although, because you do have those people in your life who, like, are only there for a good time or only want you for, you know, like a party or so. And that's totally fine. But like as far as my intimate life goes, I don't want anyone in my life who doesn't take me seriously. Because that's just weird. I wouldn't want someone in my life who I can't take seriously or I don't respect. And I say this a lot, but I can't necessarily even have a conversation with this person I don't respect. Like, if and I'm not. I don't know how to phrase this nicely, so I won't. And if you want to go ahead and twist my words, go ahead. Because I won't stop you. I literally have no reason to. But like, obviously, I don't respect some people. In the sense that I don't think they deserve my respect for whatever reason. And I can't have a conversation with someone I don't respect, which is why I take disrespect so hard. Because I feel like in my intimate relationships, I couldn't care less if you want to disrespect me and you don't know me. But if you do know me, and the way I'm phrasing all of this is just, it sounds awful, but bear with me. If you do know me and you disrespect me, it's almost like, why would you want someone in your life that you disrespect or you don't take seriously or you don't value as a human being? It's just, it's not something that I want in my life, but like when I'm thinking about how people have received me in the past, and when you like, and I'm sure everyone's had an experience where like you find out someone's perceiving you a certain way and you didn't even like you don't see yourself in that light, but other people will, and then it kind of makes you think about how you move through the world, and sometimes it's a good thing to be all like, okay, maybe there's some validity to the statements that they're saying. But I think that also, like, being able to have the critical thinking to know if there's validity and also know, hey, this person doesn't know me. I can't take what they're saying to heart. Like, I don't know. It's hard to parse out because people are going to judge you regardless. It's just in human nature. Why does this keep on... Oh, it keeps on shutting off. Okay, I understand. I was so confused. This kept on shutting off, and I need this to figure out, like, how long I've been filming for, so that was irritating. But I remember, like, back in the day... Oh, I'm gonna... Can I bleep this? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a way to tell this story without names. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I was in middle school, like 8th grade, and I was talking to these kids who I usually would never associate with. Not because, like, oh, I'm better than you. It's just we don't run in the same crowd, obviously. And because of our seating arrangement in class, I had gotten close to these kids. I had gotten close with these kids that year. And I remember one day we were just talking, and obviously, you know, the comedian that I am, they had said something. It was something along the lines of like, oh, like you're actually like chill, like you're actually cool, you're like funny or whatever. And then they said, like, we thought you were part of that like girl feminist group at our school. We had like this like little girl feminist group that was really, it wasn't even for feminism, which one, I'm not a feminist, I'm a womanist, and I wear that proudly because feminism doesn't serve me, but that's another episode. But it was this group of 6 girls. We've talked about them before on the podcast. It's not about them, but hearing that I was associated with them and that these people just automatically assumed that I was a part of these girls, even though I'd never spoken to them before this moment, and then them realizing that I wasn't a part of it, it was a weird feeling because it was all like, one, yeah, I was friendly with those girls at the time, but it's not like I was hanging out with them 24/7 or even at all. Now that I think about it, I've actually, not a single member of that group. Actually, one of them, I had hung out with one of them prior, and that's because she was a family friend. So like obviously we talked whenever we saw each other. But yeah, I had never hung out with any of them out ever actually during school. So the fact that they made that conclusion that they just assumed that I was part of that group is crazy, because also there was only 6 girls in that group and none of them looked like me. Like what? Like that was weird. But it's weird to have find out people's perceptions of you. I don't know. It's so strange to me, and I struggle with wanting to change how people perceive me. But then I realized that people are going to perceive you how they're going to perceive you regardless. And especially if they don't know you. Like, it's weird, but it's kind of like inevitable, and it's so hard for me to parse because like sometimes like I catch myself being all like, well, I don't want to be perceived this way, I don't want to look this way, and for valid reasons. Like, I don't know, I like if someone's viewing me as mean because of like, because I take angry and mean differently, but like if someone's viewing me as mean, I don't want to be perceived as mean. Like, I don't know, I want to be like perceived as like a nice person. So like if someone was perceiving as me, I would take that to heart. But genuinely, like, I can't change that. But like, I don't know, like, it's just like, I feel like stereotypes, like, they can be good, actually. Like, I won't say that stereotypes are all bad. I mean, a lot of stereotypes are just for people's own protection. Like, but I feel like just in my experience in life, like, it has led me, like, how I perceive myself too, like, has changed so much over the years. And I think it's going to keep on changing because I don't know who I am, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I like question like reasons why I do things. Like, I know I do the podcast and I do YouTube and I do TikTok because I genuinely love it. And there have been times where I've questioned like, why am I doing this? Specifically with TikTok, because obviously like I've been doing that consistently for the longest. And I have questioned myself multiple times, like, why am I doing this? Like, what is the final outcome? And realistically, like, I don't really know. Like, I know that, like, I enjoy, and most of the stuff I post on TikTok is, like, sketches, comedy, shit like that, you know? And it's mostly just to bring joy to people. Like, if I could, like, literally make one person happy, like, I'm gonna post the shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I know that I do it, because it's for me and not for anyone else. Because even when I had 0 followers, even if I had 0 followers, I still keep posting. Like, it's like, my follower count, my subscriber count, like, whatever it is, it doesn't, like, stop me from posting. Like, I'm still gonna post the content even if no one watches. And that's what helps me understand what I actually value, because like a lot of times I catch myself doing something because I think it'll look good, which is bad. Or I used to, at least. I don't think I do anything now that I'm all like, oh, this is gonna look good, unless it's like, no, actually I don't do anything, because like I don't do anything to like bulk up my resume anymore, which I don't know if that's a bad thing, but I just don't care anymore. But that's neither here nor there. But like, genuinely, like, I just have gotten, oh my god, I say this so much on the podcast, it's so irritating. Like, every time I catch myself saying like a catchphrase on the podcast, it pisses me off so much. But like, I really have gotten to this area of my life, let's switch it up a bit, where I like am able to like see the hobbies and the things that I enjoy in life and know whether or not I'm doing it for me or I'm doing it for someone else. And if I'm doing it for someone else, I typically stop it, because, like, honestly, all this stuff that I wanted to accomplish this year as far as, like, goals for myself are to better myself so I can enjoy my own time with myself, if that makes sense. Because, like, I've really just, like, because obviously 2023, best year of my life mentally. I want to keep on having years like that. Like, it was genuinely, and, like, I look back now and I'm just, there's so many things that went wrong in 2023, or went badly in 2023, really, as far as events in my life. And past Mary Jo, like, if you had asked high school Mary Jo to deal with any of that shit, she wouldn't have. She'd probably try to end it all, honestly. But like, the fact that I went through all that stuff, it just like, it made it better. Like, it's not to say that life was all rosy and peachy or whatever, but, like, it was so much better to just, like, live my life and be happy with myself, rather than, like, caring about what other people think about me. It just, like, it was so great to just live my life and not care about who else was watching. And that's something about the pandemic that, like, was really nice in that sense with the lockdown. Because, like, no one was watching. If I didn't want to be around someone, I didn't have to be. I could just be in my own little bubble, not necessarily isolating myself from the public, but not having to care what people say or do online. And honestly, that's why I take breaks from social media. Because, like, genuinely, it is so easy for me to get wrapped up in that space and be like, oh my god, this is, like, all doom and gloom, and, like, get all upset about everything. And honestly, that's why I don't post on Instagram as much as I like want to, as far as like content creation goes, is because like social media just seems so incredibly fake to me. And it is like the stuff that I post, like every once in a while I'll like, because I think I've like made like over 100 posts on my main Instagram, and every once in a while I'll just go through deleting them or archiving them, because it's just like, who is this person? Like, I just don't know this person. Like, and I really want to spend this year getting to know myself outside of the perceptions of other people. Because, like, how can you ever figure out who you are or what you like if you're always being influenced by other people? Which is why I also don't like the term influencer, and I prefer the term content creator. Because, like, I don't want to influence anyone to be like me. Like, not that I'm a bad person or anything, or not that I don't think that I'm, like, a good role model. It's just, like, I don't feel like that's my job. Like, it's literally not. Like, I'm just an average person. Like, I feel like role models should be people who, like, do stuff with their life other than just live it. And that's all I want to do. I just want to live life. Like, I don't know if that's, like, a naive or a stupid goal. I also don't care. But that is honestly the biggest thing that I just, like, that is honestly my only goal. I'm thinking about life in general. Like, yes, I have things that I want to do and I want to accomplish, but it's for fun. It's so that I can enjoy life and just live it. Because, like, I say this a lot, too. I swear I'm not, actually I am a little cynical, but neither here nor there. We're all gonna die. And I'd rather spend my time, whatever time that is, because you could literally die tomorrow, having fun. Like, like, thinking about it, like, it really is, like, living your life to the fullest every single day, because you could die tomorrow. And if I did die tomorrow, I want to say that I spent the last day on Earth doing something that I love, which is making content, and editing content, and doing stuff that I love. And, like, moving towards goals that I wanted to achieve, you know? And, like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that being my goals for right now. I'm also young, and that might change. I really don't think... and I've said this before, but I don't really have any career ambitions other than, like, getting to a career that can, like, sustain my life, if that makes sense. Like, obviously I can't just live off nothing. Like, I have to work. But other than that... which I have, like, work in. It's 2:14. Okay, we're gonna cut this episode short. Sorry, I just got emotional in my head, and I forgot I have work in 15 minutes. So we're gonna cut this short, just a tad bit, just a little bit. I apologize. This is so embarrassing, because... because I literally, like, I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm so peaceful, I'm just talking about life. Because I swear I had more time to film. Because the timer's saying that I'm only hitting 30 minutes just now. And I swear I started before 1 o'clock. Like, I swear I started filming at, like, 1:30. I digress. We're gonna wrap today's episode up. I apologize for how short it is. Next episode will be better. I promise. And it will be longer. And... hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have another guest on the podcast. I'm excited. But that being said, wow, where did the time go? I am definitely not dressed for work either. So we'll see if I get there on time. How do I do my outro? Anyways, that's the end of the episode. You can follow Sidetrack'd. You can follow the podcast at Sidetrack'd Podcast on Instagram or TikTok. I think we also have a Twitter, but I don't use that. I don't use Twitter. I don't use X. But I think I do have it for the podcast. I can't for the life of me remember the name. Oh well. It'll probably be linked. And if you want to follow me, because, I post some stuff de temps en temps, you can follow me at MaryJoJessica on Instagram and at MaryJo.Jessica on TikTok. That has been Sidetrack'd. I will talk to you later. Oh, damn. Oh, goddamn. Oh, goddamn.